Welcome back, and now let's check out some gallery.
Oh, so we're not opening up with a Chloe segment.
Later, Jova.
Hank underwear. We needed a
Really?
character model of that.
Well, to be
Why?
fair,
It's not actually his underwear.
yeah. The name of that bio is a bit misleading, to be honest.
Never mind. We're in the gallery.
Yeah. But for we needed a gallery model of Hank when he's plastered. The poor guy.
All right, let's read the bitch's
North.
bio. Anyway, North is a WR400 model. Created by CyberLife? I thought it was created by Activision.
The name Tracy.
Under the name Tracy. This is a model reserved exclusively for authorized clubs selling the charms and company, quote-unquote, of androids, including the famous chain Eden Club, which we'll be visiting in this part. North is ready to make any sacrifice in the name of the android cause, fueled by a profound hatred towards humans for personal reasons related to her past, which we'll learn later.
Let me guess. North is supposed to be what I asked for earlier, the not-so-good android, except this is done pretty cartoonishly bad.
Obviously. Simon is a PL600 model, just like Daniel, designed to be a family domestic assistant, which is why he looks exactly like Daniel. Nobody really knows what led Simon to Jericho, and he himself has never explained it. He is one of the oldest members of the group when Marcus arrives in Jericho, and as such his opinions are... Translation, I couldn't bother to come up with a backstory for this character, so whatever.
Pretty much.
Wow, but the bio literally admitted to it. Okay, Josh.
Josh
Yeah,
is
I
a
don't know.
PJ500 model, a series designed by Cyber...
What a shock! Designed by CyberLife.
Game, if there's no other company making androids, don't bother, okay? Serve as a university lectures. So basically, Java, this was supposed to be an android teacher. So there you go. And teachers are losing their jobs to androids as well.
But apparently what made him leave was being attacked by violently drunk
This is kind of like
students.
in the early stages of Final Fantasy VII,
Sumo.
when you learn that. Oh, hold on. This is the reach.
Okay, what are the
Sumo.
better characters?
Sumo is a Saint Bernard belonging to Lieutenant Anderson. An adult male, he weighs 170 pounds and 29 inches at the shoulder. Despite his
Jesus.
fearsome size, Sumo is
That's a big doggo.
Sumo is a gentle giant. They say dogs resemble their owners, and Sumo is no different. Gruff, big, powerful, okay.
And
Oh, it's
intimidating.
adorable.
Look at that HD
You know-
next-gen dog. And now let's take a
You know
look at the Android
The polar bear.
Android
Oh,
bear.
really? Even the polar bear has a bio? This I
The
gotta see.
URS-12 is one of the series of models from 2030 developed by CyberLife to recreate extinct or endangered species.
Of course.
The aim is to equip zoos, particularly in large cities, to allow children to discover animals that no longer exist. Okay, that's actually pretty cool, I have to
Okay.
admit.
This is used basically to tell, look how humans are bad because they made polar bears extinct.
Basically, yeah. Elephants and polar bears reproduce rapidly, in particular can reproducing the smallest details. Okay, yeah, okay,
I still think it's a cool idea, though.
it's a cool idea.
Cool,
It's a cool
because
idea.
it's a polar bear.
That was unintentional, I swear.
It's a cool idea. It's a cool idea, but the game does nothing
No, I'm
with it.
serious. That was unintentional.
Okay. Here's the thing, though. What they could have done was have it so that robots are used to replace actual wild animals, so wild animals could stay in the wild, whereas the androids would be the ones in the zoo. Although then, God forbid, they probably have it that the android animals also developed a sense of sentience, and then it would be terrible that we're keeping the android animals cooped up in
What
cages.
if android were animals? I don't know if it rings
You know,
the same, Java.
Actually, that is a point, though. It's like,
What if animals-
we're so stuck up...
What if
That-
robots were animals?
That is actually a point. I mean, apparently we're supposed to feel sorry for the android polar bear that's stuck in the cage, I'm guessing, since we release it out into the wild. So I have to wonder, do android animals get a say in all this? Like, I mean,
The
do
game-
they have to
no,
have certain
Java.
rights?
No,
The game
Joe.
never bothers to establish
The
that.
game never explores the concept of android animal deviancy.
Hell, considering there were those android canaries in the house in the early chapters of Marcus, I'm surprised there weren't situations of people running around with pet android dogs, for example. Which,
Hey,
with the logic of this world, it will make sense. Honestly,
yeah,
The
You know
Eden
what would
Club,
be
the sexiest
interesting?
androids in Detroit.
does it even have a box of matches with its initial on it?
ah ha ha ha. Hey, you know what would actually be an interesting idea?
What?
If they did this sort of Mega Man Legend style, make it so that pretty much all of humanity is pretty much dead, and the only things left around are these not quite human things, but well, in Legends they're called carbons, essentially humans who are very human-like, but can pretty much have any body part replaced with apart here or there. It's pretty weird that way. In the sense, though, like, well, imagine, though, we could have the racism plot, but instead have it be derived from, hey, these androids were made by this different company who they look up to as gods, and they consider that those made by the more technologically superior company are the more superior race. Like, we could have an interesting bout of race relations within the androids themselves.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Let's see what happened.
So yeah, in the future, there is no prostitution because instead you just go into a place like this and you rent an android for a few minutes and just have fun, I guess.
Like I said, I can see the logic behind this, honestly.
It's prostitution without the danger, I guess.
Well, technically,
Yeah,
Shiroi. Well, they're not living beings, and supposedly they don't have free will, Shiroi. So there's nothing to be guilty about. Yeah.
We developed the
It's
STDs.
it's the ultimate. It's the final evolution of the sex toy, Shiroi. Basically.
Although we could certainly improve our dancing programs and getting Mass Effect flashbacks with Commander Shepard on the pole.
So I had to wonder, how do you have that for a robot universe? I hate that I have to ask that, but really, how does this work? Like, what do you stick it into?
Jova, there already are sex toys that involve recreating as close as possible
But remember, Pedro, they have to make it that androids are as lifelike
Well,
as possible.
well,
for us
Jova,
to
can't you
believe
just
that they're human-like.
Jova, can't we just excuse it with it's the future, brand new technology that doesn't exist yet?
Many sci-fi media, Jova, tend to say that androids are just recreated that way to be as playful as possible, but both body and emotion style.
It's the future, Jova. Just roll with it.
I'm still stupid.
I'm still dumb. And
a guy died, and I'm gonna be all skeevy about
Also,
it.
do you have only one set of clothes? Jesus.
I hate you.
It's also the problem that it's not even that relevant in the plot. It just shows up occasionally and
To
waggles
piss me
his
off.
dick in your face. Yeah, he waggles his dick in your face and calls it a night. Like, what the fuck, man? That's rude.
I mean, unless we're setting him up to get his ultimate comeuppance, it cannot come soon enough.
Honestly, Job, there is some minor comeuppance, but it's you might as well not have been there in the
Does he
first
get?
place.
Does he get shot through the throat so he can't?
Tasty.
Trust me, Dwebs. If the game gave me an option to kill Gavin, I would.
Anyway, yeah, it's Blue
Maybe
Blood,
Gavin
of
will
course.
become a better person by the end of his
No.
game.
Doubtful.
That would require
Yes.
the Dev Cage to understand character development. With that, pigs will start flying before that happens. So
Hey, you know the whole mentality that just because there are dickish people in real life, that gives you the excuse to have someone who's a dick without getting comeuppance can be done well. For some reason, a lot of writers tend to do it pretty badly.
So what happened? Oh, a cardiac arrest.
no sign of cardiac arrest, actually, too. It says there.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, my bad.
Let's see.
So what killed it?
Severe bruising, signs of strangulation. There we go, Joe.
Job,
Strangulation.
You were close, but not quite enough asphyxiation.
I mean, I was more so joking about that, but yeah, it looks like he got asphyxiated. And since they're
So let's recreate the
According-
incident. So yeah, let's recreate.
According to my investigation, this man is dead.
There you go.
No, it's one of those WikiHow photos where they're like, is this man asleep? Wrong, this man is deceased.
Well, technically,
Wait a minute, wait a
technically,
minute.
as we were just here to investigate why and how he was killed, not if he was killed.
He looks pretty dead to me.
Dwebs, but we need details on how, though. Investigations are not just, oh, by the way, a guy got killed. Oh, okay. Oh, investigation done.
Yeah, but there you go. Even Hank is like, yeah, it could have been just rough play.
I meant like he needed the word deceased in big letters.
Well, that's just the Android interface thingy. Reactivation required. So yeah, basically, let's try reactivating the android that supposedly killed him.
How do we do that? Is it like is David Cage gonna have it like you have to push a press?
He just explained it to us. Basically, in the state that the android is, it can be activated for like a minute at most, but hopefully it should be enough to at the very least get some kind of bit of information. Yeah. Might as well. Why not? It's not like we have anything to lose.
I honestly I thought David Cage would be that kind of person. As they say that you have to press her boobs in to switch her on or whatever.
No, here it's like a car. You just need to reconnect it to some wires, and there you go.
Yeah, it's that simple. Apparently,
I've
I've read it about the way these androids are built long enough. So whatever. Moving on. 1 minute and 48 seconds. It's all right. So soothe. Let's soothe her first, just to make sure she doesn't panic.
All we want is to know what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
Is he dead?
Tell me what happened.
Started hitting me
Of course.
again and again.
Remember, Teo, humans are garbage. You're garbage, Teo. You're garbage.
We
It wasn't me.
I didn't do nothing.
we literally already had this allegory for the whole abuse
Wait.
in the
Skip to
game.
10
Yeah,
seconds. That's not
yeah.
fair.
Where are they?
Oh, turns out there were 2 androids with him. Okay.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed, the timer plays dicks with you, no matter
Hey,
how much
skip
time
to
you
like
get.
10 seconds left.
Once again, David pulls
but-
away the actual control of the game from you in order
But
to
don't you
be
see-
artificial.
But don't you see, Miss You Dweebs? I have a planned script, so you must abide by it.
But don't you see, Monsieur Cage? Fuck you, you can't just skip time like this.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, basically, it turns out there is another android that was involved in this. So
But how do we find her?
well, like Hank just said, maybe an eyewitness, someone who saw the android leave the room. Let's see. Search.
I wonder what if that other android was North, since she used to hang out here.
Don't worry, Jova.
Dancing, dude.
Don't worry, Jova. We'll get more details on North's backstory. Surprisingly,
It's here for the
Jova.
ladies.
Surprisingly, Jova, North's backstory is told to us in the game itself. Of all characters.
Oh,
Really?
it's a case of tell and tell and not show.
Well, at the very least, it's in the actual cutscenes, Teo. That's already better than the bio, at least.
I suppose.
The ideal thing would be to be in a flashback, I agree, but I guess this is the best that Cage can do. Anyway, okay, this is actually one of the funnier parts in the
There's an
game.
idea.
Basically, Jova, we're going to use the memory. We're going to access the memory of all the sex androids who probably saw the other android leave. However, Jova, androids. However, Jova,
Okay, that was funny.
yeah, androids cannot rent these androids because it requires human fingerprints. So Hank has to do it for him.
Oh god, he's gonna get charged for this.
Yes, he is actually good.
It's going on his company card.
$30 for 30 minutes.
Jesus Christ!
I've seen worse prices, just saying.
Well, it's $1 per minute, Jova. I guess it makes sense.
Nope.
No, it will not.
Here's the problem,
No
though.
bosses see.
And now here you start to see the problem, Jova. This is my first playthrough, my blind playthrough, so I don't know in advance which androids saw the other android. So you probably can tell where this is going.
Wait, shouldn't wait. We gotta talk to all of them.
Not necessarily all of them, but we have no. If you're clever and you can think logically, you can have a basic idea of which android saw her because it's just because we're basically going to retrace her stats as you're about to see. Hold on.
Oh, this should be interesting.
All right, we're accessing her memory now. So let's see. So what she saw was this. So let's cycle through. Doesn't seem to be anything. Oh,
Oh,
there she is.
Some.
There she is. A blue-haired. Hold on. A blue-haired trace added towards the entrance. Okay.
So you
So
tell me literally no other human was out here to see her just walking about free.
my guess, Joe, but they were too busy masturbating to the other androids to care. So
Yeah.
I guess that is a point. You could literally just come and
there you
you
go.
know, we're not having this conversation.
All right. Did you notice the direction she was walking, Jova? That's your hint. So what android would be able to see her if she went in that direction? So again, now it's a matter of okay. Oh, it's another thing. We have 3 minutes because the android's memories are reset every hour, and we only have 3 minutes until the next one.
Okay.
So basically, okay, let's think. So, however, yeah, let's. Yeah, well,
this is really not going to look good on your expense records. Two such
No.
shots in one day.
Oh, there she is.
well, at least yeah, it turned back into the club. There you go.
Clever misdirection.
There you go. See. All right. So
God,
she went.
Saying that thing's clever.
So basically, this chapter is all about trying your best to pick what's the android who most likely saw her, depending on the path that you know she went so far. So what would be the android that would probably seen her? Probably. Oh, and it's also a good thing. Make sure you always try the ones that are on the polls, because the ones on the polls don't require money. So, in fact, let's try that right now. I think, aren't I? Oh, okay.
I remember blind playthrough.
Yeah,
I can imagine you were confused.
This has been literally a year, literally Teo, a year since I recorded this, so I don't remember what I did specifically. All right.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Jesus.
Ah,
Well, remember that she's dancing, so obviously her vision would be like this.
you know, there's a bit of an inconsistency in each of these robots' memories as to how many humans were in the room. Like, looking at her now, there's not as many.
Jova,
people
it's
here.
like in Heavy Rain in the
Oh,
chapter.
there she is.
There she is.
So she turned to the red room.
Red Room. Jova, it's like in the park chapter, early chapter in Heavy Rain, where, as I noticed in the shape playthrough, you have like the same NPC model copy pasted at least 3 times, and 2 models are identical. The third is just
Well,
like appeared.
talk about humans or androids?
Humans.
Well,
Oh,
it's
okay,
the
never
fact
mind.
that the robot memories are inconsistent with how many humans. Like, remember how the first one literally only saw the one guy, even though it's clearly in the same view length as the second one we see, which shows the room is completely chock full of humans. Like, Mr. Cage, please tell me you had a script editor on hand to spot this sort of stuff.
It won't be script editor, more like content personally.
Double side.
Unfortunately, this particular android didn't see her, so we'll have to pick another one. Fortunately, that one was in the poll, so we didn't have to pay for it.
Okay, I'll give credit. This actually seems like an interesting mechanic.
It's
and
kind
one
of
that
an
you
interesting
actually can
take
fail.
on the whole. It's kind of an interesting thing on the whole. Look for the security cameras, because this is actually an original take on it. If I have to say.
God
you
damn.
like what you see, lady?
Unfortunately, that bitch of glasses was in the way, so this android didn't see anything. God damn it.
Oh, poor Hank.
Career.
How embarrassing
Just
can this
just
get?
smile through it, and it will be over soon.
Hopefully the police office will be able to reimburse him for this.
Let's try this one.
Of course, this will be fun to explain.
There you
Oh,
go.
there she is.
She turned to the blue room. Alright, to the blue
That's
room!
where we-
Of course.
Ta-da!
Alright, let's go.
You know, if you've seen a playthrough of this, you can technically bypass the sequence by
Thankfully, yes.
Yes,
like,
yes.
we don't
If,
want
if,
her to-
if you know in advance what android saw her, obviously, yeah, you can basically do the minimum for Ankh. Suspend.
Well, you got the first 2 straight away.
Let's see. Who could have possibly seen her?
Dun, 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 dun.
God, the tension's really ramping up.
Like I
I'm
said,
gonna say the music.
the music in the Connor chapter is the worst spot on, honestly.
Don't worry, Jova. We'll actually in the extras part we'll find out straight from the composers themselves what was the God,
I love how that woman was smoking a cigarette. Guess she had just one.
I guess maybe. All right, let's see. Maybe this Tracy saw her. Let's see. Aha! There she is. She went into that room.
Another blue room.
She hid in a...
Yeah, but that
Hid in a room.
specifically in one of the sex rooms. So let's go. See if she's in, maybe she's still in there. Let's see. Oh yeah, and if you hold R2, you can relearn the last position you traced her in. Unfortunately, she already left.
Oh, damn it.
All right, back to square one. We only have 1 minute, so let's try to hurry.
Oh, crud.
What else? So we yeah, there you go. See, notice how now her position in the simulation is shows her leaving the room. So let's see if the janitor android saw her.
Oh.
God damn it! Unfortunately, yeah, he's janiting, so obviously.
You only saw
Saw
her
her feet.
legs.
Come on, look to the right, dang it.
Aha!
There
he,
she is.
Oh, there we go.
he did. It flaps through the staff door. All right, to the staff.
After her.
Thank you, janitor. You have truly contributed great to society.
All right.
Again, just
know,
following it.
I
know.
All right. So Hank will take it from here.
What I also like from this is that, like I said, Hanky is taken back by all these technology thingamajig, but he still is competent in a sense that he lets Connor decipher how things happened with the actual murder, because he already manages to know about what things happened. Like before on the strangulation, he said, "Yeah, I saw the bruises, so I already know what happened." But he
Ow.
did let Connor know.
Don't be so
Are
sure.
we? Hmm.
Notice how one of those androids looks just like North? So yeah, as you can probably guess, yeah, North used to be here at the Eden Club.
So yeah, Jova, have you seen iRobot?
Yes. Heck, that's practically been my catchphrase throughout this playthrough. Yes, David Cage, I have seen iRobot.
I haven't.
Ooh,
But
right.
Tasty.
I haven't, but I keep confusing the titles with I Am Legend.
Let me
Never
guess.
lick things off the floor.
They're
Let me
pretty
guess.
different, Dweebs.
But they both got Will Smith in it.
Let me guess. The guy was hitting her to get some blue blood for some red eyes.
No. He was just really fucked up
Violent,
and violent
as
when it
usual.
comes.
Wait, really? Because usually all these have been tied into red eyes. So you're telling me that for once we have
Jova
a
has
bit
a
that's
point,
not tied
actually.
into red eyes?
That can be very easily explained, Joven Shiroi. Humans are garbage, and they will destroy anything that they touch. Don't you know?
Then I have to ask, what is even the point of red eyes at this point? Like, you've established this drug that can actually explain this cartoonishly evil behavior. You've used it up until now. Why? Just
That
why?
is the question, though, isn't it, Jova? Why?
Why, Dave? Why? Yeah, it's exactly like the Teo. Yeah, Teo asked that exact same question when Whips played Indigo Prophecy, and we got to the DBZ fights. Why, David? Why?
You know, again. Leave it to David Cage to write an out for himself that he could easily use.
Tech
Yet at the last
addicted.
minute,
The first
when it
immortals
actually
are
could help-
among us.
Wah.
Nanomachines is on.
The new superpower. So basically,
China earthquake kills 10,000 people. What the fuck?
How
Well,
nice to know.
Thanks, China. Here's your reward for buying our game.
all right. Let's see.
Hank is complaining about how people don't have real relationships anymore.
And I'll pet out people rather buy a piece of plastic than love another person. Hank.
RA9 again.
It's funny because that is a conversation a lot of the older generation actually have, like, about people younger than them.
Well,
Hank
that's
is pretty old.
that's kind of his shtick, Shiroi. He's the old fart who can identify with the younger generations and shit like that. Anyway,
God forbid he was around during the times of LA Noir, then he'd really...
hold on.
Found it.
Shit.
Oh, snap! It wasn't even the blue-haired one. She changed her hair color.
That's the thing. Actually, it's not that, Jova. Turns out she has an ally.
Two.
She has an ally somehow, but we're going to explain later at the end of this.
Oh, let me guess. There were 3 of them in that sex exploit instead of just 2. That's right, I played Resident Evil Revelations.
No, it's not that, actually.
No, that's not it.
That's not it. She's from the club as well, but she's from another section.
Well, speaking of Resident Evil, this fight is actually very similar to the one with Krauser.
Let me guess. Thelma and Louise.
No. It's much more simple and it's much more simple than that, Jova.
No, Hank Senpai, no.
Pull or knock over. Pull. It doesn't matter. Before you ask, no, it doesn't matter which one you choose.
Of course it doesn't.
Don't.
This reminds me of the fight you have in Bandersnatch if you get to a certain point in the game.
What,
There's
you're
a
fighting
fight in it?
No, you have some random kung fu fight. It's like if you choose the Netflix ending.
Hold on, jump. There you go.
Oh, it's so lewd.
No, I
David,
was
why do you
right.
show these things? These are set for
So
children.
I was right. It is Thelma and Louise.
Got it.
Whatever. The point is, yeah,
Again. 2 girls want to run away and be together forever.
There you go. This is David Cage's idea of LGBT representation, I guess.
Actually, he kind of did it earlier in the room when we were looking for the androids. One of the ones you were looking at the point of view of, a guy was looking at him.
Yeah.
True, I guess. Well, this is the one that the plot actually focuses on, Shiro. That was just a...
So shoot or not shoot?
I mean, it still is there.
True.
Well, I didn't notice it the first time around. It's just something I noticed for this run.
Sure.
I noticed it. He spared them, so now...
Backstory,
Although
Joel.
I'm-
When that
Okay.
man broke the other Tracy, I knew I was next. I was so scared.
Deviant.
I begged him to stop, but he wouldn't.
So both basically an allegory, so an LGBT allegory and
Rape.
and rape and abuse allegory. Again, the big problem is that these allegories are so thin, paper thin, that it's just like, ugh, who cares?
To the one I love.
Aw, robots can love each other.
Yes, sure.
Why don't you just have it to make out at this point?
They actually don't do that.
Smell of sweat
Surprisingly.
and their dirty words. Come on.
You see how evil we are? I hope now you've all realized.
Garbage.
These are instead just pure, don't you see?
Huh.
So, oh, and Hank liked that.
Huh,
guess.
wow.
Hank was actually impressed by the fact that but this was literally Hank's first exposure to the concept of androids being able to love each other. So he's quite shocked by this experience, as he's gonna make clear in the next chapter involving this storyline.
Hank is such a weird case. Like, and some things that you would expect would piss him off don't piss him off.
That's actually the problem, Joe. Not problem, but the entire thing about Hank. He's an actual human being in this whole game, and that's what makes him so alien.
I know, right? I mean, it's so weird. Like, well, I mean, if he were cliched, he probably wouldn't know what we'd expect him to do. He's not.
Again, I refuse to I refuse to believe that David Cage wrote this storyline. No, it's impossible. This is beyond his skill level.
Even if he didn't, though, he technically still had to approve it in some kind of fashion or scrutinize it in some way,
True.
shouldn't he?
Well, yeah, obviously, but I refuse to believe he wrote the dialogue in particular. There's no way he wrote this dialogue. No fucking
Well, I
way.
know that there were two other writers, so it could have easily. I wonder if each writer actually had, like, being over each different story.
My guess is David wrote the Marcus
Marcus,
one. That's definitely the most Cage-esque of all three. So definitely, one of them
I
wrote.
think he'd have written the Kara one, but yeah.
Well, that's the thing, Joe. Unfortunately, they don't specify in the credits who wrote what, so we don't know. All right, so let's check out a particular magazine that I think was worth showing. Basically, every time you find a magazine in the game, it becomes readable in the extras gallery. AX400 Getaway. So this is actually a kind of a plot relevant one that we didn't read. So hold on. An android was pursued through a Detroit suburb today in a scene. Remember, this is the article that Connor read and made him think, yeah, this is probably a good android to start from when it comes to hunting deviants. Our sources suggest that the X400 may in fact be the one, blah, blah, blah. The android remains at large and is believed to be highly dangerous. Witnesses are asked to report to the authorities with any information they may have about the incident, which explains why Kara and Alice went away from the city so they wouldn't be seen. So, yeah.
Am I the one who feels like Kara may have absolutely the least amount of influence on this story as a whole?
Yeah, that's because she has... like Marcus and Connor shape up things, and Kara basically absorbs them as we're going along.
Yeah, the protagonist of the original short is completely irrelevant in the full-blown game.
I'm sure fans of her must have loved that.
Completely.
But don't you see, Jova? It's all about the fact that an android can love a human child. Don't you see?
I could have gotten that easily, and you could have still made her the main hero. But whatever gets us done sooner.
Yeah, you're just whatever. You're just an evil human who possesses no empathy. So whatever. See you everybody for the next part.
See ya.
But,
See ya.